All your base are belong to us.
Hello again, YouTube! It's Dr. Kendo. I'm here, and I have a slight cold or something going around or whatnot, so if I sound nasally and or sore throat-ish, that's kind of the problems that I'm going through. I know you may have heard this in at least like 2 other commentaries just throughout, the 2 years that I've been doing this, but, my life is so crazy. It's like I have a full-time job, I'm married, I've got 2 dogs, and then just trying to run this YouTube channel in itself really could be a full-time job, and I try to make it like that, but I can't. I just literally don't have enough time for anything, so with that, I don't have enough time to take care of myself. Anyway, getting back to the issue here at hand, we are creating a really unique character today, and so I actually started off with a really unique source object that I've never used before, and I haven't really even used this in Scribblenauts before. Her name is Cicalia, or is it Cicalia? You tell me. But you should be able to see how it's spelled right there at the top, or when I was typing it in earlier. We're just removing all of her little legs, though, her snaky looking legs, because she's got all these tentacle-like snake legs, and I've placed an electronic right here that I'm moving on the body, I guess down the torso almost, I guess below the legs, around where her hips would be if she had hips, or I guess she does. I don't know, I'm confused. So let's take off the head, the arms, and of course we took off the legs as I just said. We made the body smaller. We're actually going to make it smaller than this, but I'm just going to do some coloring and sizing and things like that. I found this kind of peachish off-white nasty color because we're actually going to be creating R.O.B, R-O.B, and I'm going based off of the Smash Brothers model, mostly Smash Brothers Brawl, because the toy R.O.B actually did not look completely like this. This R.O.B has some vibrant red and, the off-white-ish ivory something color, peachish color, I guess. It was more just gray or whatever for the original R.O.B peripheral. So now you can actually see on the body part, and so the part that is her body, we're placing these 2 headbands. Now, place them in either direction. So you see that one is kind of laid normally, but then the other one is upside down in the reverse direction. And then we're going to create a pole and just put that there for kind of where the neck is going to be. Do it as big as you can without it showing up on the top or the bottom of the object here. So the head, if you saw me type in a security camera, that is what the head is, and I feel like it's just like so perfect. It's like they designed this just to look like R.O.B. I'm using Cyborg, and this is going to be for the arms, or at least part of the arms. Now, this is where it gets kind of confusing. You notice that I'm using the green grid shapes. This is the top right icon in your little panel of icons that you can click on. This is useful for any creation ever, but I think it's really paramount here in this R.O.B creation. You see this pattern on the 7th page of the pattern library. We've got the red and black kind of strange pattern right here. Oh, what does that make me think of? Les Miserables. And then I'm using kind of this metallic color, I guess, for the end of his hands. The end of his hands are going to be black for these cyborg arms, but he's actually, the R.O.B peripheral does have kind of 2 red, almost rectangles or squares or something on the ends of his hands. And so I'm going to use a different object that I'm going to try just to see if it works good or whatever, makes him look more robotic. But again, what's really key is finding where these green grids, which ones are the arms and which ones are not, so that we can place everything on the correct grid part. But here's what I'm going to try for the hands. I've typed in stapler, so I'm going to use a stapler and paint it red. It kind of has a metallic-y tint to it and everything, so it's really nice, I think, the stapler. And it's presumably the right shape. I mean, it's going to look a little bit more pointy, I think, than the real R.O.B's hands, but all of this is, subject to what you like, so you could obviously do something different if you would like to. But I'm using this hemisphere or half-sphere shape right here from the Geometry Shapes library. Of course, in Scribblenauts Unlimited, it's really easy to find it, but if you're creating on Unmasked, just type in hemisphere, and you'll get it from there. That's going to be R.O.B's shoulder plate, in essence. If he had shoulders, I guess, that's what you would call it. And so it connects his arms and everything to that shoulder plate, so we're just using that and put it at kind of at the back end of the green grid for his arms. And of course, R.O.B holds his hands and arms out horizontally in front of him, so that's what we're going to do here with our creation. Again, forgive me, I feel like I sound really nasally and everything. It's something going around. So let's see. We've got mostly, I think, everything covered here. We're just going to kind of move these back into the correct positions. I just want it to be known, of course, that he does have that other arm back there. It's like they could almost be lined up exactly the same, but then we wouldn't see the other arm. So I'm just making sure that it peeks out, just a little bit over the arm that's in front of us. And yes, this is a R.O.B that is kind of horizontal to us. He's not like sort of facing us, sort of facing to our side, like most of my Scribblenauts characters are, and like most characters in this this game are. You know, they sort of are at a horizontal angle. We're using dot for the little light that's on his head, of course, the dot light, and right there, and I think it's a great shape, and it's a great, use of the dot. And so now I'm trying out a rectangle. I'm not sure that this is going to be the best thing, but we're just trying it right now. Getting a kind of purplish bluish color for the eye. Rob has, two little eyes that are sticking out there in front of the, at the end of the security camera, I guess I should say, at the front. And so I just figured for our security camera here, we'll paint that little part. Really, it could be more blue than that, I guess. One thing that I do every now and then, though, is what I'm doing now. I'm going to put the letter I right here and see if this is a little bit better, which I think it is, honestly. I'm just going to take away that rectangle right there. Sometimes it's good to go back and try something else to see what it looks like, but the reason I like putting two letter I's right there is because it's got more of a rounded end to it, whereas the rectangle obviously has a square-like end on it, a pointy end. So I just feel like this looks a lot better. So you know me if you've been watching for a while. The Dr. Kendo commentaries, one thing that I like to do that makes this special, of course, also is that I like to read the background information or fun facts about each object that we're creating. So of course we're talking about R.O.B today. That would be the Robotic Operating Buddy, R.O.B, which was released as an accessory for the NES in July of 1985 in Japan and October of 1985 for North America. R.O.B ran on 4 AA batteries, was 24 centimeters or 9.6 inches tall, had a 45-degree head tilt angle, and had 5 accessory slots around the base or bottom, and there were even notches on the hands to allow for specialized parts to be attached for each game. Believe it or not, R.O.B as a physical product, however, was kinda short-lived because he was only supported within 2 games, Gyromite and Stack Up. But you can consider him revitalized by his various cameo appearances in games such as Star Tropics, Kirby's Dream Land 3, the Star Fox series, WarioWare series, F-Zero series, Smash Bros, Beautiful Joe, Mario Kart DS, and even having his head appear in Pikmin 2. To top it all off, he is now reappearing once again in Smash Bros for Wii U and 3DS as an unlockable playable character. And this is also kind of interesting. My last little bit of fun factory is that in my research, I've seen R.O.B go anywhere from $40 to $400 on eBay for a brand new one. $400, of course, being for the brand new. And it comes with the box and everything like that. Of course, people are asking for more, so, you might see some other entries that are asking for more money than that, but those are the ones that have been completed and sold off. So we did the basic scripting that I do for almost every character that I create, which is to, whenever he loses or gains health, he gets the adjective brave, and that's so that he won't run away from any fights or anything like that if he gets attacked. I've also got him waiting a set number of frames and then shooting out a metal top. It's supposed to represent his metal spinning top attack and stuff from the Smash Brothers games. Now, the unfortunate thing with our source object that we use is that she attacks you whenever you don't have the adjective friendly or something like that on. So I did have to apply a friendly adjective onto our R.O.B here, but he will attack anything that attacks him, so don't worry. He'll still attack this bowl right here because it's evil and whatever, and it attacked him first, so he will retaliate, so that's good. And look, you can even ride on top of the R.O.B.'s head. I made sure to put in that he could be sat upon. It's pretty awesome. Look at that. But yeah, without this kind of source character that slithers like that or anything like how I chose, your R.O.B.'s, the base, the bottom part of it will go up with the legs of whatever humanoid or whatever character you might have chosen for the source object otherwise. And if you did something like pole or, spine or whatever you want to start off with as the source object for that, like an inanimate object, it'll either just bounce around, like it'll jump up and down to move, or you'd have to make it hover and then it would kind of wobble to and fro. So, if you've ever seen my Monita, that, I did the source object as a pole for that, and it kind of wobbles around. I'll get back to R.O.B in a second, but I just wanted to make a special objection! This is another character that I've seen actually asked for numerous times, and I figured why not create it as well for random pick. Yes, this week was random pick, so I just put all the suggestions in a hat and pulled them out at random. So starting off with a businessman, we created Phoenix Wright. I've also seen people create one with the source object of a communist, so believe it or not, you can make that be Phoenix Wright even. But I just typed in Michael T, and that's for the head right here. We actually painted the hair dark black just like I did now. That's kind of his source object head, so I did have to remove the businessman's head. And I've just used a series of shark fins, so if you just type in shark and grab the little fin right there, this is what it looks like, and I painted that black as well for that pitch black look, and put that basically all over his head right there to make his crazy hair, because his hair goes like straight back, know what I mean? So anybody who knows what Phoenix Wright looks like, hopefully that hair is accurate to you. If you wanted to make him point the finger like I did in that picture where he says objection, just take a capsule. The letter I will kind of turn out too skinny for these arms right here, so just take capsule and shrink it down to this size, about somewhere around here, and place it to the back. You know, you probably don't want it in front. It might look a little strange. And try to color it as close to the skin tone as you can. And let's see here, I'm gonna move it appropriately. It's kind of hard actually to get where it should go. I feel like I don't remember quite where it was. But anyway, you know, you can kind of figure out from there. And they actually have a little talk bubble stamp in kind of the miscellaneous library. There's like a 3-page library of just miscellaneous things. A lot of them are wheels. So check it out, there's Phoenix Wright. I'm gonna show you some of the basic scripting. Of course, we're gonna make people react to him as a lawyer, and also make that the source audio, and give him some more health. Let's give him some more speed too. I mean, I don't think that it really matters, but I'm also gonna make his weapon be a paper. I'm gonna make him throw paper out. I just thought that was kind of lawyery. You know, I've actually never played any of the Phoenix Wright series games, like Ace Attorney or anything like that. Unfortunately, I actually don't even really know what it's about. I mean, I'm assuming that it's kind of LA Noir-ish, you know, where you have to determine, you know, in the court of law to prosecute somebody or not. I don't know. That's just my guess. So then after the basic scripting that I normally do of the brave adjective, I'm also going to make him express an emotion emoticon of the exclamation point, have that appear above his head, kind of like objection, you know. I just figured that would be cool whenever he is attacked, as he's objecting to being attacked. But let's make him let's turn him hostile. I put him out on the map and everything right now, but let's go ahead and have him and Rob take each other on. Why not, right? So I got to get a little bit closer, and let's do an adjective of hostile on one of them. I'm just doing it on Phoenix Wright for whatever reason, and of course I'll just start him off as brave. And it looks like he's actually doing really good because he can keep Rob at a distance with those papers, although now that Rob's in his face, we'll see what happens here. Looks like this is crazy. He's actually taking him closer and closer to the edge. I'm assuming they're gonna fall down. It looks like neither of them is about to die, so Rob is pushing him back. Yep, there he goes. I'm gonna have to follow this battle all the way down the crater. Oh, Rob is crazy. He's jumping over him and stuff like that. This is very Smash Brothers. Oh, and he takes the victory. So it looks like Rob was the winner. Alright, anyway, I'm like halving my enthusiasm from what it normally is just because of this crazy cold I have. I'm sorry I keep mentioning it. Anyway, I needed to add one more thing to our Rob creation. I've taken this coil shape. It's actually within the geometry library, so you know, the library of shapes and stuff like that. You can find this in there, and it's actually not on the head. I need to move this down, but it's basically the coil or wires and stuff that are attached to Rob right here. So that's what it should look like. I knew somebody would probably mention that if I didn't have it on him, so there we go. Now the Rob is complete as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Next week will actually be next month, November, and we'll go back to the normal system of most popular request for 3 weeks straight. So whichever request has the most popular vote to it, you know, the most replies or thumbs up or anything like that, will be the item that gets created. Just movie, video game, or nerd and geek culture characters, no YouTubers, and please only request 1 or 2 at a time. And I love all of you out there, so I'll catch you on the next vid, hopefully where I'm not sick, and thanks for viewing.
Knock 'em dead, now world goes wild. Give 'em 1 inch and they'll take a mile. No way to take back all that I went through, but I love my path cause it led me to you. Knock 'em dead, now world goes wild. Give 'em 1 inch and they'll take a mile. No way to take back all that I went through, but I love my path cause it led me to you.